today's video, we will create a search engine on BigQuery dataset using Vertex AI Agent Builder. In order to create a search engine on your BigQuery dataset, let's first finalize what data we want to build the search engine on. In this case, I have imported public dataset called Google Cloud Release Notes, which contains the release notes for all Google Cloud services. If we take a look at the preview here, there is description of what was released, that's text, and then release type, whether it's a fix, and then when it was published, the product ID is there and the product name is there, which contains whether it is BigQuery or what Google Cloud service it is, and then there is version name. I think what we really care about is the product name, when it was published, and the description. That's what the search engine is primarily going to look at. So now that we have taken a look at the data, let's go to details and copy the table ID. Once you copy the table ID, you can go to Vertex AI Agent Builder, look for Agent Builder, and then you can go to data stores and create a new data store. Your native source is BigQuery. You can leave these to default. You're saying structured BigQuery table with my own schema. Synchronization frequency is one time. BigQuery path is the table ID that you copied. Now click on continue. You have the option to review schema. I noticed that the description is showing as retrievable, whereas I really need it to be retrievable. That's the content I'm looking for. So I selected that. I'm going to leave everything else as is and click on continue. Now let's give this data store a name, be release notes data, and create. Now the data store is created. The data is still getting indexed. So let's give it a few minutes before we create the search engine app. Now we'll be creating the actual search. Create a new app, type, search content, generic. Let's keep the enterprise edition features and advanced LLM features. Search engine name would be GCP SE and company name RN LLC. Continue. Now you can see the data store that we created is available here. By clicking this create here, you're linking your search app to the data store that we created, which in turn is linked to the BigQuery dataset. Now the app has been created. You can look at the data that's got imported. You can click on view document and see that all columns that you wanted are here. We wanted description mainly and the product name. So those are here. You can also look at the schema and make sure all the input that you gave at the data store level are all reflecting here. Before we go to preview, let's go to configurations and check a few things. Here we have search type, search with an answer, search with follow-ups. Let's go with search and answer. We want a generative summary above the search result, just like Google search engine. Let's do that. And then summary result count, number of top results used to generate the search result summary. 5 is okay. Which model should it use? I would choose Gemini 1.5 Flash 1 V2 because it's just faster and its quality is pretty good. We'll just keep the default tone. And summary language, auto detect, enable related questions. I don't want it to give any related questions after I ask them because our data is really grounded on the release notes, so I don't want any inaccurate follow-up questions. Show autocomplete suggestions, enable feedback, allow users to send feedback about the search results on the widget. That's fine. Go ahead, save and publish. Now that we have looked at the key configurations, let's go back to preview and test the search. Does Composer support private service connect endpoints? All right, so you can see that the search is well grounded to the release notes here. And it says, yes, Cloud Composer supports private service connect endpoints, starting with Cloud Composer version 2.0.29. So this is good. So we actually built a search engine for Google Cloud release notes using Vertex AI Agent Builder.